Cricbuzz Chatter at the end of day one. No, at the end of day two, but effectively at the end of day one. Cricbuzz Chatter at the end of day one, which was actually day two, but it feels like a nightmare. So you can allow us to be very confused about whether it was day one or day two. 46 all out. 180 for one, 130 for red. It doesn't matter if it is day one or day two. This game has moved so far ahead. And someone who understands the city, the ground, the pitch, the uncertainty, the hopes, the dreams, everything is Dinesh Karthik. Tell me, did first of all, did someone put a good Mysore Malangpuri spice on the pitch and then just take it off and put the kind of dosa that I eat afterwards?
The first thing I want to say, your intro was a bit like New Zealand's bowling, very unpredictable. I didn't know what was coming. That is one. Yeah. Number two, in Bengaluru, you can predict a few things like traffic, like the
Yes.
fact that weather will be good consistently throughout the year. One thing to find or figure out very hard is the pitch.
But you know it better than anybody else. So you concede 287, you make 260. You know what the pitch is like.
That is one day. But a
Yeah.
similar pitch, we've also gotten all out for 120. That also happens in RCB, so you don't know. The point is the pitch is very unpredictable, and that's exactly what Rohit Sharma and Tom Latham also. See, we will go hard at Rohit Sharma. That's fair. I think we should, because it's not been a great day for India. But it's unimaginable to think Tom Latham with three fast bowlers would have wanted to bat first.
So now tell me, you've been at tosses before.
Okay.
Did Latham really want to bat first, or was he just saying, we would have batted first?
See, what happens is, as a captain, if you don't want to sound controversial, you'll generally, if you've lost the toss, you'll just say, even I wanted to do that, so that you feel, okay, it won't cause any controversy. Because if you wanted to do the other thing and you say it in a very honest manner, there have been captains who have been caught out saying, oh, look, you had to take the wrong decision. But today, because Tom Latham took the safer option, he is stuck. Because it was such a pitch to start batting on, and it was but too obvious. One of the toughest aspects about playing this sport, even till today, is to read a pitch, Harsha. There is no one who can say, I know exactly how this pitch is going to behave. You are doing in Hindi what they call tukka only. Little bit, you have to just guessing game only. The fact that it was under the covers for 3 days has not helped the situation for sure.
So that is what I wanted to start off with. I can understand Rohit Sharma wanted to bat first because they read the pitch as being very difficult to bat in the fourth innings. They picked three spinners. If you pick three spinners, you want to bowl fourth. You want to bat first. And when you sign up as a top four batter, you sign up for days when you will have situations like this. You back your defense, you back your temperament, you hang in there. And then when the tide turns, I keep going back to that 2002 test match in Leeds. We talked about it in commentary as well. Till lunch, very tough to play. Luckily, India only lost one wicket. When the tide turned, India had wickets in hand. Tendulkar 193, Ganguly 128, Rahul Dravid continued to hit 148. So I think India's thinking was we'll back ourselves to play through this situation. That didn't happen because you've got to hand it to them. They bowled beautifully. Can you imagine going to Christchurch and Ashwin and Jadeja looking at a scuffed up pitch?
Christchurch Williams starts only at 150. After the only match, after only the rest of the batting for New Zealand it starts. So that is one side of it. Christchurch, first thing, not only the pitch, you have to deal with Bhagwan, that weather, they'll push the bat, Harsha, when you stand there. Wellington and Christchurch is a pain to bat. It always, you have to deal with the wind like in West Indies. But anyway, now moving on to your point that you've just said, one of the toughest aspects is to read the pitch, and it was a very tough decision, but application is a very, very valuable subject for us today. And you can ask me any questions. I'll try and answer it the most honestly possible.
Did India try and find white ball solutions to red ball situations?
Isn't that okay?
Reaching out. Rohit Sharma played on the top. The shot he actually plays very well, in all fairness to him. He was reaching out. Rishabh Pant played one of those shots. Virat Kohli got one that bounced a lot. So did they try and almost have Sarfaraz hitting through the line? Was there a feeling, I don't know what the next ball is going to bring, so let me maximize and throw them off their length now?
It's become the way of the world, Harsha. We discussed that even against Bangladesh, when India actually were tottering a bit, Jaiswal held fort and did what they did along with Ashwin towards the back end of the innings. It's become a norm. If the conditions are hard, play audacious shots, outrageous shots. And as I said this on air as well, the difference between audacious, brave, and stupid, silly is the result. If you get it right, it goes to that side. If you get it wrong, you're looked at this way. So today they've got it wrong. So Rohit Sharma's shot looks, why did he do that? Sarfaraz looks even more bewildering, thinking, what is he doing? I understand, but if you go through batters who are playing white ball cricket, or in fact, even a Sarfaraz to a fair degree, he is a pure red ball player. He plays white ball, but his strength is red ball cricket.
Yes.
His tempo also, and I'm talking about the recently concluded Irani Trophy. It was a pitch that was doing a bit. He came and hit a couple of balls over mid on. It seems to be the way the batters seem to target. I feel because after the advent of T20 cricket, it is is a paradigm shift towards how batting is looked at right now. So in Test cricket, soft hands play late. In T20 cricket, go hard at the ball. In case you miss time, it also should go for a boundary. So because to find the middle ground is what good players try and do. But if you're not sure, you would much rather err on that side if you want to have a very fat bank balance. And they've all gone on that side. That's the truth.
If they want a very fat bank balance, says someone who every year in the IPL auction or retention was always, anyway, we'll go back. It's okay.
But that's why
I wish you well. I wish you well.
Test player, because of the same reason. Hard hands is become everything you shouldn't do in test. Like today's conditions were all about fighting it out. But the kind of wickets that step out bold, caught at mid off, like the shot that was attempted, reverse sweep.
Or even Rishabh.
Rishabh.
But I understand what you're saying about the modern trend. I didn't see the other test match that was happening. But on a turner, you're chasing 290 in the fourth innings, you're stumped by 2 feet down the ground late on the evening of a test match. Which means everyone's approach these days is becoming like that. But don't let it take away from excellent bowling. I thought Tim Southee started off very well. We will not talk much about Southee because he only got that one wicket. But the ball that got Rohit Sharma coming back in, hitting top of leg stump. But Matt Henry, who spoke to him at the end of the day, when it is cloudy and Matt Henry has the ball, it creates bad memories for India.
And me personally also.
I did not go there. So if you want to go there, you please go there.
Today the score was 10 for 3.
Yeah.
I was straight away went back to Manchester. Similar conditions, maybe not as much because the Kookaburra ball didn't behave that badly. But with the SG ball, today was a very tough pitch to start on. Yeah. Diabolically different conditions towards the back end of the day, but at the start, it was hard work. Not many teams would have managed to not lose 3-4 wickets in the first session. And if at all you ask New Zealand what is the blueprint of how they would want to play Test cricket, that's the pitch.
Third lowest score ever, the lowest ever in India. I remember 36 all out. It was actually 36 for 9.
Correct.
36 all out would have been better because that would have meant that Shami was not out of the game. He was still available. 36 for 9 meant there was no Shami. And I was a little kid playing in my school with a tennis ball, and somebody had a radio and we were listening to the commentary, and we could not believe it was 42 all out. They called it the summer of 42.
No, I just when was this?
So then let's get on to Matt Henry.
For people know, was it 1977?
Peak, 74.
70, peak of Harsha Bhogle's broadcasting career. He was about 8-10 years into it. He was killing it. All India Radio's highest paid employee in those days.
When we were growing up, we were told to respect elders and all that, but that's okay.
Immense respect. A doyen in the field of broadcasting. How can I say anything?
So today I saw a 6'6" bowler getting height, getting good pace off the wicket. Good bowler, Will O'Rourke. Could Virat Kohli have done anything different on that ball? And we're talking about Virat Kohli for two reasons. One is I didn't agree that he should have come in at number 3.
Correct.
And then he got that ball. We pulled out some numbers. The one player in the Indian team who's faced the new ball the maximum number of times is 77. And that is KL Rahul.
Okay.
I know we are trying to say, look, KL Rahul, we are giving you a new beginning in life. We really rate you. I rate KL Rahul as a batter. I get a lot of criticism for saying that, but I genuinely rate him as a batter.
You shouldn't. I mean, he's a terrific player.
Terrific player. So they're telling him, you are getting a new beginning in life as number 5, number 6. But on a day like today, do you want Virat Kohli going out at 3? Do you want KL Rahul going out at 3?
I am not protecting Virat Kohli. He has the temperament and technique of some of the greatest batters that I've ever played. If I make a change, it is because I believe that player will do well there, not because I want to protect Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli walks in at number 3 in every ODI. He opens in T20. Now you can say the ball is different. It's not moving as much. 100%. In Test cricket, where is the best suited place for Virat Kohli? Number 4. But my question to you would be, Harsha, you're the coach of the Indian team. You've just taken up the Indian team. You've promised a KL Rahul saying, I will make sure you bat middle order. 5 will be Pant, 6 will be you. You will get a run of test matches. Go ahead and do what you can.
Suppose someone came to you, your KL Rahul, and said, I will not hold this innings against you. Can you bat number 3 today because you have the experience that nobody else has? I will not hold it against you. Second innings, if we don't lose a wicket early, go back to your batting number. But can you go 3 for me?
100%, I would say yes. KL Rahul would double say yes because that's what comes to him even more naturally. In tougher the conditions, even in Australia, even in South Africa,
he had a great 100.
One of the better hundreds for outside of India by an Indian batter. So I don't think that conversation was had at all.
Okay.
I think the conversation would have been, Virat, do you mind batting at 3? It's just for this one test match. Shubman Gill's neck is injured. All right,
and in all fairness, I mean, Virat Kohli evokes very strong responses sometimes, but I don't think a day will come when you ask Virat Kohli, will you do this? And he will say no.
And also,
that won't happen.
Commendable on Virat Kohli also. He could have easily said, no, let me bat at 4 because, you can put KL or Sarfaraz at 3. The coach would have said, fine, I'll manage that conversation. The fact that he said, no, I'm happy to go at 3, tells you the mindset. Results are one thing. Obviously, it hasn't gone his way today. But just the fact that India is at a place where people are willing to adapt and at the same time give respect to what the coach thinks. I won't say it's the right decision. I still feel personally KL should have batted at 3. That's what I feel. That's different. But I definitely don't follow Gambhir's thinking of let's have the same batting order so that there's consistency in their thought process and eventually the results will come out.
So 46 all out, irrespective of how spicy the track was, irrespective of how much bounce there were numbers to suggest that the bounce was on median level higher than any time in the last 3 years, significantly higher. The seam movement was significantly higher. All that is okay. It's not 46 all out. So let's move on past that. I think if India had got to 150, 160, this game was absolutely wide open. But there's no point saying if. Navjot Sidhu would have said it even better. If ifs and buts were pots and pans, then I've forgotten.
I remember.
Anyway, I'll call him Sherry. I'll ask him. But when India came out to field again, can there be pressure? First of all, you've picked 2, not 3, because you've read the track a certain way. Can there be almost pressure on Bumrah and Siraj to say, they have done it, now you do it too?
For sure. I mean, it is but too obvious that the onus on the fast bowlers to pick up 2 or 3 wickets even for India to stay in the game. Now it's way ahead and New Zealand is in a driver's seat in a totally different place purely because that new ball didn't pick up wickets. As simple as that. It's blatant. And again, credit to the New Zealand batters. It was not that simple like they made it sound. Can India bowl better? Definitely. But having said that, credit to New Zealand bowlers with the ball and the openers, especially with the way they took care of that first spell. Again, it'll come back to, I think the first mistake was reading the pitch. The second was an after effect of that because in not reading the pitch very well, they chose 11 which wouldn't suit the conditions.
Okay, now this young man, normally very well brought up, but occasionally prone to his flight. I am going to put him in a slightly difficult situation. I'm going to put him in the hot spot. Okay, 36 for 9, 46 all out. Which hurt more? Which is the more embarrassing? I don't normally like to use the word embarrassing. Let's find another one because I don't think there are embarrassment in sport because everyone tries genuinely. You're embarrassed only if you don't. But 36, 46. That was second innings. This is first. That was day-night. This was day. That was also the first test of a series. This is the first test of a series.
Today was the bigger shock. But India can come out of that shock. In Australia, what India did was commendable. I didn't see this at all. 46, no chance. I think today was a bigger shock. Embarrassment is not a word I'd use at all. Because I've been in these kind of pitches where you're just one ball away from getting out. It's really hard. Just take the KL Rahul, for example. At that angle, when the ball comes in, you can't literally play any shot unless there's only one thing you do. You're willing to keep taking body blows. And you're saying, I'm going to leave it because there's no LBW. Let me keep getting hit. But that also comes after batting for a certain time.
I mean, I can understand. There's 4 wickets down. You're getting a ball on your pads. Which batsman will not think, oops, 1 on the pad. Maybe there's 2 there. Maybe there's 4 there. But for 46 all out, India had to come back strongly. I thought Devon Conway played magnificently. Yes, India's fielding wasn't up to the mark, but Devon Conway played magnificently. 91 on that track. Took on the spinners. Didn't allow Ashwin to settle. Went after Kuldeep Yadav even after he had got a wicket. And I just thought took the pressure off Latham, was in the circumstances a match-changing inning almost.
Every batter has a bowler that really troubles them through their
Mm.
career. I think for Devon Conway, it was Bumrah. That World Cup, the way he got out, you got to understand the pedigree of what Devon Conway has come through. He was looked at literally on par with Kane Williamson for the time he has played. He's that consistent. He's got runs in England. He's got runs in Australia. He's got runs in New Zealand. Time like plenty in the domestic grid. So that dismissal and in the series before that really shook him. I feel because he was found out technically. So when he got through that first spell, Harsha, battling Bumrah on a pitch which was seaming, I think that must have given him immense confidence. I think today's innings, in a way, is a bit of a career-changing innings for him. He's at that point where he'd have walked into the series thinking, "Oh my God, I have 6 innings of Bumrah." People worried about spin, but he's thinking Bumrah every time he comes. I have to be careful. The fact that he got through that spell, after that, playing the spinners became much easier mentally. Yes, the skills are required. What he did really well was apply pressure from ball one using audacious shots. Now, that is audacious because he's been successful today. Played reverse sweep, played sweep, stepped out, used his feet. Lovely innings. And I think it is a start of, again, Devon Conway's time in international cricket.
Since you mentioned that, it makes sense to see what happened in Bumrah's second spell. When Bumrah comes back for the second spell, who takes Bumrah more? It is Will Young who faces Bumrah much more than Devon Conway does. And I thought they didn't score too many runs off him, but I thought just staying in there and denying Bumrah the wicket in that second spell when he came back was critical. So there was much to like about Will Young as well. But towards the end of the innings, there was a phase when first Young got out, then Conway reverse swept, then Daryl Mitchell came and reverse swept. There was a couple of edges that flew. And I thought for about 15 minutes, India had a chance to come back into the game. Did India lose that chance, or is the chance still alive?
Oh, in this test match, India is definitely way behind. I won't say lose because I feel never say never is a kind of an attitude that Indian team has. They could, roll New Zealand out for 300, bat for a longer time, and then probably end
Last
up in
time
a
they
draw.
were 80 odd all out. They made 505.
505. So it is not something that I'll put past India. But right now, New Zealand can call the shots of this test match. And that vulnerable phase of play with their batting, India didn't bowl well enough to pick up a wicket. Plus, it's not, I can't say well enough. I think India didn't hold on to their fielding chances that came their way.
Okay,
They
let's
dropped
talk.
a couple of stumpings.
Let's talk about the fielding. Yes, yes, the stumpings. There's one that KL Rahul just did not see.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid the optics, as we use very often the word, the optics didn't look good at all. Just pulling
I'm
away
sure it
from
was
there.
he was
But he
completely
didn't see
blinded.
it.
Didn't see the ball. There's nothing you can do.
Rohit Sharma. We've talked on air as well about a replacement for Rahane. Not as much as a batter, but Rahane, the slip catcher. And I thought Rohit Sharma was getting there. He's plucked a couple of really sharp catches against spin in recent times. There was one that was 50-50 maybe, but one that was definitely catchable.
To his right. Yeah.
Yes.
So Rohit Sharma is a solid slip fielder. So if you speak to the fielding coach, he feels like he's one of those guys who has glue in his hand. The ball goes in, he gets stuck. Very rarely does it come out. That's the feeling he's given fielding coaches overall so far. So he's a good slip fielder. But today was an off day with the field. Even Jadeja's run out. We discussed that. We were on air. It is a tough one for mortals like you and me. But for Jadeja's caliber, he knows it was run out opportunity. It is all about just holding that. It's just this microsecond thought that comes in where you go, come bang, I go this way.
Yeah.
And he has the ability to align himself to throw powerful enough to create an opportunity. Even in
Both
that,
ends. Because he's come dashing in. We talked about that on air. He's come dashing in. His first sight is the stump there. And he can back himself to hit the stumps direct. Yuvraj did that. He does that often. What you're saying is through peripheral vision, which I know television anchors have, and I know to some extent fielders at point have, through peripheral vision, he should have realized that
there's an opportunity
at
the strikers
end.
end. True.
Okay.
And that was a blemish as well. So overall, not very poor day with the bat and a very ordinary day on the field as well.
So in India now playing 3 spinners. What that means is somehow India have got to find a way of setting a fourth innings target. For that, the game has to go into the fourth innings. At the moment, it's a lead of 134, 7 wickets in hand. It's time to go fast forward. Okay, on fast forward. How can India get back into this game? Because they have to. I mean, matches have turned around from worse situations, but 134 is with 7 wickets in hand could easily be a lead of 250, 300.
And that's where they come back. If they're able to stop that lead to 230, 250.
That much?
Yeah,
Not under 200.
Under 200
It's dream.
wishful thinking, Harsha,
Yeah.
on this pitch. Unless the pitch is going to be again because of rain, going to be under covers for a long time and they open it up much later and those kind of things where there's a lot more in it for the fast bowlers. And hence the spinners also come in with turn. Right now, even the turn was in there towards the back end. The sun was baking down. It wasn't a great pitch to bowl on towards the end of day's play. Then India need to get 400 at least. And then they set the target anywhere between 130 to 150. And if the pitch is good enough and helping our spinners, then we have a game on that.
But it is at the moment like watching through the reverse end of the binoculars. Far away there.
Very, very far away.
But your Bangalore is going to turn up any more surprise?
Bangalore is a bankable venue for surprises.
Oh dear. Says someone who knows what it is. I will tell you one thing I did though yesterday. This young man had a go at me with some justification for that terrible walnut brownie that I had.
Correct.
So I said, when in dosa land, do as the dosa eaters do.
That CEO sent us, no, dosas to.
I don't know who sent it. It's criminal on my part not to know who the benefactor was, but that dosa was top drawer. I saw the chutney inside, which normally scares me off. So I went little gingerly, but the dosa was outstanding. When in Bengaluru, go dosa, don't go walnut brownie.
Obviously, Ajay, you're not in Tennessee. You're in Bengaluru. Why will you have a walnut brownie?
So you had the dosa too?
No, I saw. Too much carbs. I'm just kidding. I had so much rice.
Says a young man who's just signed up for the Abu Dhabi T10, who's going to play the SA20. Just on the side, he's brand ambassador for all the leagues and has just come out of playing a Legends League. That is the most unfair thing you can do. As someone who has only recently had striking at 180 in the IPL, going and playing in the Legends League is absolutely unfair.
I don't know, people have the perception I played one match and I was an abysmal failure. They said, you go back, boss. We don't want such legends also. We can deal with lesser legends. So at this point of time, Harsha, I want to ask you one thing, Harsha.
No.
You always put me in the hotspot. Today you did.
No.
Actually, I think
thank you very much for joining.
I really want to ask, what do you think is, or rather, what did you feel is slightly more shocking, Harsha? That 36 for 9 or this 46 today?
I thought the 36 for 9 was a perfect storm. Because if you see that day, India did play and miss. Every ball they got, they edged. Every edge was taken. 36 for 9. Now, what we did not know is what followed after 36 for 9 was one of the most glorious chapters in Indian cricket history. What India did on that Border Gavaskar Trophy post 36 for 9, Rahane going and winning going to Melbourne and saying, I would have batted first, scoring 100 there. Ashwin and Hanuma Vihari saving that test match in Sydney, incredible. Bumrah and Ashwin not playing the fourth test, but standing by the boundary rope, trying to cheer the team along, almost being like bowling coaches. I thought what followed was incredible, but that was in Australia. You don't want to have to follow that over here. So I think 46, yes, I think this 46 to me was a little more difficult to swallow than the 36. But I've always believed that no game is over till the end. I saw Calcutta 2001. Now that was a rarity. You remember that because it happened so rarely. I'm actually going so far as I'm not saying 199. I'm saying India's chances are 1090.
1090.
You're even 1585 from me.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, that's purely because of how well they've played in India for the last 18 months.
Or if like me, you've had to make the most of whatever little chances you get in life. Your attitude always is whatever little chance you get, you have to take. So fight there. Unlike young men who eat carbs and burn up their.
You're the embodiment of the Winston Churchill, sir.
No, I don't. Tell some other name. Tell some other name. He's a hero to England, but he's a villain to us. Tell some other name.
I'll think next episode, sir.
Excellent. So there you are. A terrible day for India. Very disappointing day. A day that you want to forget, and a day that that must inspire the players to say, what happened will not happen again, and let us fight back and dominate the game from here on. Whether it happens or no, we'll wait and see. But one of the more forgettable days that I have seen, and I'm sure DK has seen as well. We will see you after day 2. Well, it's a day 2 only. It's day 3, but we'll see you after day 2 because that's effectively day 2 in this game. See you tomorrow.